guys, so I wanted to have a little chat with you today. We're gonna have a chat because I've been looking for this on the internet and I need it for it to happen because, you know, I'm just I'm here to talk about whether Percy Jackson should be a TV show. And so I have looked up on multiple sources that aren't definitive because I've been wanting my absolute favorite series to come to life on either on screen or on TV, and I just need to get my feelings out with you guys. So this all started about a week or so ago, and something came up to the effect of that there won't be a third movie to the adaptation of the Titans Curse, but there will be a remake of the TV show, and Rick Riordan will be the person to make it, to write it. And I've been looking for it all over the internet today, and I can't find anything else to like definitively say that it's actually going to happen. And I actually was gonna go on Rick Riordan's Twitter and to try and find out to see if he actually said something about it. I always forget if my camera's recording. So I've had that happen one time. But I went on his Twitter, I went on the internet, and all I could find was that it was a possibility. I just want it to be a definitive possibility because I want to see who they can get to play an actual Percy Jackson, an actual Annabeth Chase, Nico D'Angelo, you know, Grover. And that's all I basically want and need. And so I've looked all over the place, and I found two articles, which I will probably link down below, where they talk about it as it being a possibility and that it will probably or even possibly air on the CW, which the CW does amazing adaptations. The 100 is on the CW and it's amazing. I love it. So is Supernatural. I mean, Supernatural is not a book to movie adaptation, but they technically make it, but you know, I'm not gonna spoil you. They just make great TV shows, and I just need them to make a Percy Jackson because the first two movies I can't stand. They're not what I pictured for Percy, for Rick. Like, I definitely need them to be more than famous actors and upcoming actresses, you know. Yes, Logan Lerman's hot, but does that mean that he necessarily needs to play Percy Jackson? They portrayed him as 16 years old in the movie when he starts out when he's like 12 or 13 years old. And I don't understand why they couldn't just have grabbed a kid who looks like Percy, the description of Percy, instead of some famous actor. And I'm not trying to diss Logan Lerman, I promise. He's good looking, I promise. But like, I have this thing where things have to be exactly how they are, and if I read a book and they're going to make it a adaptation, whether it be a TV show or a movie, I always have to double check whether they fit the description of the character. So if they get a 14-year-old person to look like they're 12 or 13, which they most likely will, then I will be okay with that, because if they're 14 years old and they're going to portray a 12-year-old, that's a 2-year difference, and that's fine. But if it's a 16-year-old to an 18-year-old to however old Logan Lerman was, to play a 12-year-old or a 16-year-old, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just kind of ranting about this because I need to get this out there, because I read the whole Percy Jackson series last month, and I'm going to read the series of Olympus. So I just want to prepare myself. So I need this adaptation to happen so then I can scream about it to you guys. Classic. I've just been thinking about this whole time, and you know, if they aged up the characters, not as much as they did with Logan Lerman, I feel like they aged up the characters too much in the movies to appeal to the teenagers, but technically all teenagers and some adults have read Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I was in 7th grade. Yeah, I was in 7th grade when I read Percy Jackson. And that was when I was in middle school. So you had to appeal to the middle schoolers, to the high schoolers, to the college students who are going to be reading Percy Jackson. And Percy Jackson brings back your childhood. It brings back all of these things that even rereading it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember reading this at this part of my life, or this part of my life. Like, and if you're reading it for the first time and you're a college student, then that's fine. You're reading it for the first time and you're a college student. Like, you're a freshman in college and you're reading Percy Jackson, fine. But, so, my point with all this rambling, because we all know I ramble, is that I just want what's best for this series. And if someone could give it to me, if I could be a part of that, like, spiritually, if I can be a part of that while I'm here in my room or here in my dorm room, while they're out there filming or they're out there, you know, acting, I'm fine with that. And I just wanted to appeal to everyone, not just the teenagers that it was supposed to appeal to. And I'm not trying to bash on the movies. I didn't really like the movies. In 7th grade, I hated the movies because I was so precise about it being, you have to be like the book, you have to be like the book. But now I'm just like, okay, well, if there's little tweaks, I'm fine. So if they tweak it a little bit, I'm fine. But if they majorly change the age gap or something like that, then that's an issue. I just wanted to talk about this because it was on my mind, and I've been meaning to make a video like this for a while. I really hope they do make it, because the guy who is the director of The Flash, which we all know that I love The Flash. If you haven't been on my channel before, I love The Flash. Barry Allen is my absolute child, along with the Newt. But we know that I love The Flash, and The Flash is a really good show. I love The 100. The 100 is a really good show. So if they make Percy Jackson to be a TV show on the CW, then I will try and absolutely love it, because CW, they do really good shows. They do Supernatural, they do Vampire Diaries, which I didn't read them. I watched up until like the 4th season on Netflix, and I was like, nope. And they make all these really good TV shows, and I just want it to happen, because I grew up with this series. I grew up with Max, I grew up with Percy, and as I grew, they grew too. So I really did like these books, and I just want them to come to life so I can see what my vision of these characters looked like. Plus, I just want to see Nico D'Angelo on the screen, because, you know, I love him. Yeah, that's... So Nico D'Angelo. I literally have been obsessed with him for the past, like, week. So, I was going on Etsy finding jewelry for Nico D'Angelo. And I ended up finding a Ghost King necklace that I want. But, you know, I need to, you know, get my job first. Anyway, back to the point. This was a very long and tiring video probably for all of you, because all I did was rant. But this was Olivia on the Bookish Bird Kid 9 channel. And I'll see y'all later, and I hope you enjoyed my actual rant. Okay? Bye!